What if keto worked beautifully in your 50s or 60s, but after 70, the same plan suddenly stops working? You are still eating low carb. You may be skipping breakfast. You may be avoiding sugar, bread, pasta, and snacks. But the scale is slower. Your strength is not the same. Your energy comes and goes. And sometimes, even when you are doing keto right, your body feels like it is protecting weight instead of releasing it. Here's what's really going on inside your body. After 70, keto is no longer just about lowering carbs. It becomes about protecting muscle, stabilizing insulin, supporting hormones, and teaching the body to burn fat without pushing it into stress. This is the part many people miss. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. In your younger years, your metabolism may have been like a strong fireplace. You could remove the wrong fuel, add better fuel, and the fire would respond quickly. But after 70, that fireplace needs more careful tending. The wood matters. The timing matters. The airflow matters. And most importantly, you cannot let the structure of the fireplace break down. That structure is your muscle. Research on aging consistently shows that muscle loss, called sarcopenia, becomes a major issue later in life, and the combination of adequate protein plus resistance training is one of the strongest tools for maintaining strength, mobility, and independence. Newer reviews also suggest that fasting in older adults may have benefits, but the evidence is still limited, especially when muscle preservation is the goal. So in this video, we are going to change the question. Not, how do I do stricter keto, but how do I do smarter keto after 70? We will talk about protein, fasting windows, exercise, hormones, insulin, liver function, and the small daily changes that help your body burn fat while protecting strength. And if this kind of calm, science-based health teaching is helpful, consider subscribing. I post practical metabolic health content like this every day. Before we go deeper, here are the 6 big ideas we are going to build this entire plan around. First, after 70, muscle becomes the center of the keto strategy, not ketones, not fasting hours, not how low you can push carbs. Muscle is your metabolic engine. It stores glucose, supports balance, protects your bones, and helps keep your resting metabolism alive. Research on sarcopenia shows that aging-related muscle loss is strongly connected to frailty, falls, disability, and loss of independence. So after 70, the goal is not just lose weight. The goal is lose fat while protecting strength. Second, protein needs often go up, not down. Many older adults eat less protein because appetite drops, chewing becomes harder, or they were told to eat light. But the aging body becomes less responsive to protein, which means it often needs a stronger protein signal to maintain muscle. The Prot Age Study Group recommends at least about 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day for many adults over 65, with higher needs for active people or those recovering from illness, except in cases like severe kidney disease where medical guidance is essential. Third, fasting has to become smarter and gentler. A 16, 18, or 20-hour fast may sound impressive, but after 70, long fasting can backfire if it leads to low protein intake, weakness, dizziness, poor sleep, or muscle loss. Newer research on intermittent fasting in older adults suggests possible benefits for weight and metabolic markers, but also emphasizes that evidence is still limited and that very restrictive eating windows may not be ideal for everyone in this age group. Fourth, exercise is not optional on keto after 70. Keto can help lower insulin and improve fat burning, but resistance training tells the body, keep this muscle, we still need it. A 2025 network meta-analysis found that exercise combined with nutrition, especially resistance training paired with protein support, was more effective for improving strength, muscle mass, and physical function in older adults with sarcopenia than either strategy alone. Fifth, hormones and stress signals matter more than people think. After 70, changes in estrogen, testosterone, thyroid rhythm, cortisol, sleep quality, and inflammation can all influence fat loss. So the solution is not to punish the body with stricter dieting. The solution is to lower insulin while giving the body safety signals: enough protein, enough minerals, enough sleep, enough movement, and enough recovery. Sixth, keto after 70 should be built like a three-part formula: protein first, carbs controlled, movement daily. That means each meal should protect muscle. Each fasting window should support energy, not drain it. And each workout should train the body to stay strong, steady, and independent. So as we move forward, keep this sentence in mind. After 70, keto is not about eating less and fasting longer. It is about lowering insulin while protecting the tissues that keep you young. The first change after 70 is this: keto must become protein-centered, not fat-centered. This may sound surprising because many people learn keto as eat more fat and cut the carbs. That can work for some people earlier in life. But after 70, the body has a different priority. It is trying to protect balance, strength, bones, immune function, and survival. So if you cut carbs, fast longer, and also undereat protein, your body may lose the very tissue that keeps your metabolism active. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Muscle is like your metabolic savings account. Every time you eat protein, walk, lift, climb stairs, or do gentle resistance exercise, you make a deposit. But with aging, the body becomes less sensitive to that protein signal. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. In simple words, the same small amount of protein that worked at 45 may not send a strong enough build and repair signal at 75. What the research shows is that many adults over 65 may need more than the standard 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. The PROT age group recommends about 1.0 to 1.2 grams per kilogram per day for many older adults, and often higher for active people, unless there is a medical reason to restrict protein, such as advanced kidney disease. So the first rule is simple: do not build your keto plate around butter, oils, and cream. Build it around protein. A practical target for many people after 70 is to include protein at each meal. For example, eggs, fish, chicken, turkey, beef, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a high-quality protein shake if chewing or appetite is an issue. Then add low-carb vegetables, healthy fats, and minerals around that. Let me give you a whiteboard picture. Imagine your plate has 3 layers. The foundation is protein. The second layer is low-starch vegetables for potassium, magnesium, fiber, and gut support. The top layer is fat, but only enough to keep you satisfied. Fat is not the goal. Fat burning is the goal. And here is where many older adults make the mistake. They drink coffee with cream in the morning, eat a small salad at lunch, then have a light dinner. That may look disciplined, but it can leave the body underfed in protein. The scale may drop at first, but strength, balance, and energy can suffer. A stronger strategy is this: 2 or 3 protein-focused meals inside a reasonable eating window. Not constant snacking, not extreme fasting, just enough protein consistently. And if this is already helping you rethink keto after 70, subscribe to the channel, because the goal here is not just weight loss. The goal is to stay strong, steady, sharp, and metabolically healthy for the years ahead. The second change after 70 is that fasting has to become more strategic, not more extreme. This is where many people accidentally turn keto into stress. They hear that fasting lowers insulin, increases fat burning, and may support cellular cleanup. And that is true in the right context. But after 70, the body is not just asking, can I burn fat? It is also asking, am I safe? Do I have enough protein? Do I have enough minerals? Can I keep my muscle? Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of fasting like turning down the thermostat in your house. A small adjustment can save energy and make the system more efficient. But if you turn the heat too low for too long, the pipes can freeze. In the body, those pipes are muscle tissue, thyroid rhythm, sleep quality, blood pressure, and energy stability. What the research shows is that intermittent fasting may improve some metabolic markers in older adults, but the evidence is still developing, and researchers continue to emphasize safety, nutrition quality, and muscle preservation in adults over 60. A recent systematic review on intermittent fasting in older adults found potential benefits, but also noted that the available evidence remains limited and protocol dependent. So after 70, the question is not, how long can I fast? The better question is, can I fast while still meeting my protein needs and feeling strong? A practical starting point is a 12-hour overnight fast. For example, finish dinner at 6:30 p.m. and eat breakfast around 6:30 or 7 a.m. That gives your insulin time to come down without forcing the body into a long stress window. If energy, sleep, mood, blood pressure, and strength remain stable, some people may gently move to 13 or 14 hours. But I would be very cautious with daily 18, 20, or 24-hour fasting after 70, especially if appetite is low, weight is already dropping quickly, balance is poor, or there is a history of falls, diabetes medication, blood pressure medication, kidney disease, or frailty. Here's the smarter protocol: protein first, fasting second. That means before you extend your fasting window, ask, did I get enough protein yesterday? Did I drink enough water? Did I include sodium, potassium, and magnesium from foods or appropriate supplements? Did I sleep well? Did I feel steady when I stood up? Because after 70, successful keto is not proven by how long you can avoid food. It is proven by how well you can lower insulin while keeping muscle, strength, balance, and mental clarity. Fasting should leave you feeling clearer, steadier, and more in control. If it leaves you shaky, weak, cold, irritable, dizzy, or unable to eat enough protein later, that is not discipline. That is feedback from the body. The third change after 70 is that keto must be paired with strength training, not just walking. Walking is excellent. It supports blood sugar, circulation, heart health, balance, mood, and fat burning. A short walk after meals can help move glucose out of the bloodstream and into muscle. But walking alone does not give the body a strong enough signal to preserve or rebuild muscle. Here's what's really going on inside your body. When you eat protein, you provide the bricks. But when you do resistance exercise, you send the construction signal. Protein says, here are the materials. Strength training says, use those materials to repair and build. That is why the combination matters so much after 70. Research on sarcopenia consistently shows that resistance training is one of the strongest tools for improving muscle strength and physical function in older adults. And studies suggest that combining resistance exercise with protein or amino acid support can improve strength and function more than nutrition alone. Let me explain this with a simple whiteboard picture. Imagine your muscles are like a warehouse. Insulin is the key that helps move fuel into storage. But if the warehouse is shrinking, there is less room to store glucose. That means blood sugar can rise more easily, insulin has to work harder, and fat loss becomes slower. Building muscle gives your body more storage space. More storage space means better blood sugar control, better insulin sensitivity, and often better energy. So the goal is not to become a bodybuilder. The goal is to tell your body, keep me strong. A simple starting protocol is this: 2 to 3 days per week of gentle resistance training. You can use light dumbbells, resistance bands, wall push-ups, chair squats, step-ups, or slow sit-to-stand exercises. Start with 1 or 2 sets. Move slowly. Hold on to a chair if needed. Stop before pain. The goal is controlled effort, not exhaustion. Then add walking on most days, especially a 10-minute walk after 1 or 2 meals. That gives you 2 signals. Walking helps use fuel, and resistance training helps protect the engine that uses the fuel. And if this is helping you understand keto in a more complete way, like the video and subscribe. Because after 70, the real win is not just a smaller number on the scale. The real win is standing up easier, walking steadier, carrying groceries with confidence, and feeling like your body is still working with you. The fourth change after 70 is that keto must work with your stress hormones, not against them. This is one of the most overlooked reasons people feel stuck. They lower carbs, fast longer, eat less, and push harder. But instead of feeling better, they feel wired at night, tired in the morning, cold, irritable, or weak. That is not always a willpower problem. Sometimes it is a stress signal problem. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Insulin is the storage hormone most people talk about on keto, but cortisol is the stress hormone that many people ignore. Cortisol is not bad. You need it to wake up, think clearly, respond to stress, and keep blood sugar stable between meals. But when cortisol stays elevated too often, the liver can release more glucose into the bloodstream. Then blood sugar rises, insulin rises, and fat loss slows, even when carbs are low. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your liver is like a backup generator. When you have not eaten, it releases stored fuel to keep your brain and body running. That is normal. But if your body feels under threat from poor sleep, overfasting, under-eating protein, dehydration, pain, loneliness, or too much exercise, that generator may keep running too often. Now you are not just burning fat, you are living in a stress state. What the research shows is that sleep and metabolic health are deeply connected. Reviews on sleep disorders describe how disrupted sleep can affect hormones, insulin secretion, blood pressure, appetite signals, and metabolic disease risk. One clinical study in women found that reducing sleep for 6 weeks impaired insulin sensitivity, even without weight gain. So after 70, the keto protocol must include recovery. A practical plan is simple. Keep your fasting window moderate. Eat enough protein earlier in the day. Add minerals through food. Leafy greens, avocado, salmon, pumpkin seeds, mineral-rich broth, or doctor-approved magnesium if appropriate. Get morning sunlight for 5 to 10 minutes. Walk after meals, but do not turn every workout into punishment. Keep your last meal calm and protein-focused, not tiny and stressful. And watch your body's feedback. If fasting makes you shaky, sleep worse, or feel weaker during the day, shorten the fast. If keto makes you cramp, dizzy, or lightheaded, check hydration, sodium, potassium, magnesium, and medications with your healthcare provider. After 70, the goal is not to force the body into fat burning. The goal is to create the conditions where the body feels safe enough to release stored fuel. The fifth change after 70 is that keto must become nutrient-dense, not just low-carb. This is a big one, because many people think keto means removing bread, rice, pasta, potatoes, and sugar. That is only the first layer. After 70, the deeper question is, are you giving your body the nutrients it needs to keep the brain sharp, the muscles active, the liver working, and the heart rhythm steady? Here's what's really going on inside your body. When insulin comes down on keto, the kidneys often release more sodium and water. That is one reason people may lose water weight quickly in the beginning. But it also means some people feel lightheaded, tired, crampy, weak, or foggy if they do not replace fluids and minerals properly. Think of your body like an electrical system. Protein is the building material, fat is the fuel, but minerals are the wiring. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium help muscles contract, nerves communicate, the heart beats steadily, and blood pressure stay balanced. After 70, that wiring matters even more. This does not mean everyone should start taking large amounts of electrolytes. That can be risky, especially with kidney disease, heart disease, blood pressure medication, or fluid restrictions. But it does mean keto after 70 should include mineral-rich foods on purpose. A simple plate could look like this: salmon or eggs for protein, cooked spinach or zucchini for potassium and magnesium, avocado if tolerated, olive oil for healthy fat, and a mineral-rich broth if your doctor says sodium is safe for you. Other options include sardines, Greek yogurt, pumpkin seeds, leafy greens, mushrooms, asparagus, and low-carb soups. What the research shows is that aging-related muscle loss is driven by several factors, including inflammation, lower protein intake, reduced physical activity, and anabolic resistance. One review noted that muscle loss accelerates after age 70, making nutrition quality and muscle-targeted support even more important. So here is the rule. After 70, do not make keto smaller. Make it smarter. Smaller means fewer meals, less protein, less variety, and more restriction. Smarter means adequate protein, controlled carbs, enough minerals, colorful low-carb vegetables, healthy fats, and strength-building movement. Because the goal is not just ketosis. The goal is a body that has enough raw material to repair, enough fuel to function, and enough metabolic stability to age with strength. The sixth change after 70 is that keto should be measured by function, not just by ketone numbers or the scale. This is where the mindset has to mature. A younger person may look at keto and ask, how fast can I lose weight? But after 70, the better question is, am I losing fat while keeping strength, balance, energy, and independence? Here's what's really going on inside your body. Ketones are a fuel signal. They can tell you that your body is shifting away from constant glucose burning. That can be useful, but ketones do not tell the whole story. You can have ketones and still be under-eating protein. You can lose weight and still lose muscle. You can fast longer and still feel weaker. So after 70, the scorecard has to change. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine you are driving a car and only watching the fuel gauge. The fuel gauge matters, but it does not tell you if the tires are wearing down, the engine is overheating, or the steering is getting loose. In the body, the fuel gauge is your ketone reading, but the engine is your muscle. The steering is your balance. The electrical system is your minerals and nervous system. And the dashboard warning lights are sleep, mood, dizziness, cravings, and weakness. What the research shows is that older adults need nutrition plans that protect muscle and bone, not just body weight. A 2024 Frontiers review notes that aging brings changes like sarcopenia, osteoporosis, reduced protein synthesis, and altered metabolism, and many expert groups recommend higher protein targets for older adults when the goal is lean mass and function. So here is a practical after 70 keto scorecard. Track your waist, but also track your strength. Can you stand from a chair without using your hands? Can you carry groceries? Can you walk after dinner without feeling drained? Can you climb stairs more steadily? Can you sleep through the night? Can you keep your blood sugar stable without feeling shaky? That is real metabolic progress. A smart weekly protocol could look like this: 2 to 3 protein-centered meals, a 12 to 14-hour overnight fast if tolerated, resistance training 2 or 3 times per week, walking most days, minerals from whole foods, and 1 recovery day where the goal is not restriction, but repair. And if you take diabetes medication, blood pressure medication, diuretics, or have kidney disease, this is where you work with your healthcare provider. Keto can change fluid balance, blood sugar, and medication needs. After 70, safety is not weakness. Safety is strategy. The goal is not to chase the deepest ketosis. The goal is to build a body that burns fat, holds muscle, thinks clearly, walks steadily, and feels safe enough to heal. So let's bring this together. Keto after 70 is not the same strategy as keto at 40, 50, or even 60. After 70, your body is working with a different set of signals. Muscle mass drops more easily. Protein response becomes weaker. Hormones shift. Sleep and cortisol matter more. And long fasting windows can become helpful for one person, but stressful for another. So the smarter plan is not stricter keto. It is more intelligent keto. Protein comes first, not butter, not cream, not chasing higher ketone numbers. Protein protects the tissue that keeps your metabolism alive. Research groups studying older adults have recommended higher protein targets than the basic adult minimum for many people over 65, especially when strength and function are the goal. Fasting comes second. A 12 to 14-hour overnight fast may be enough for many people after 70, especially if longer fasting causes weakness, poor sleep, dizziness, or low appetite. Current reviews suggest intermittent fasting may help some metabolic markers, but the evidence in older adults is still developing, so safety and nutrition quality matter. Exercise comes third. Walking is wonderful, but resistance training is the signal that tells your body, keep this muscle. Studies continue to show that protein plus resistance exercise is a powerful combination for strength and physical function in older adults. So here is your challenge today. Choose just one change. Add protein to breakfast. Take a 10-minute walk after dinner. Do 5 slow chair stands. Shorten a fast that is making you feel weak. Track how your body responds. After 70, the goal is not to punish your body into weight loss. The goal is to support your body into better energy, steadier blood sugar, stronger muscles, clearer thinking, and healthier aging. If this added value, like the video and subscribe to join others who are learning how to optimize their health naturally, one practical step at a time.